The prayer at the beginning, the collect, contains a whole philosophy of life. It talks about the God who is our protector, indicating his strength, without which we have very little. But then it goes on to ask for this specific grace, which we need big time. Multiply thy mercy toward us, that with thee ruling and guiding us, we may so pass through the things of time, through the good things of time, as not to lose those of eternity. Nowadays, the good things of time are centre stage. Any advert presumes that the good things of time are the things with which we cannot be happy. People, without knowing it, are ruining their one innings through this issue of placing happiness where it is not to be found. And going through life under this mode, I will be happy if, and its corollary, I will not be happy unless. That is spiritual and even human suicide as regards one's innings. Because the soul then is basing its joy or absence thereof on something outside itself and not even of the order of itself. For the soul is quite separate from the material in the last resort. As you know, a priest all the time spends his life listening to pain, but much of it is self-inflicted and could have been avoided. I often say to myself, when I see people in dysfunctional situations, better to be alone than badly accompanied. How many young people mistake love for lust, and down the line find that when one element is gone, there is not enough left to make for felicity. Only pain. Pain from which there is no escape, because the nearest person is not listening. And often, in physical intimacy, there can be huge spiritual distance. The reading from the first letter of St. Peter asks us to cast our cares on the Lord, for he cares for us. Again, something that we can take with us. What is care? What is worry? It is essentially a God-given self-defense mechanism. The drug addict loses it. All that matters in the end is the next dose, the next fix, and he'll do anything to get it. So worry has gone out of the window. But without going that far, it can also be the case with passion and again lust. The immediate is center stage. And worry for the well-being of the soul and its immortal state goes through the window. Again, on a daily basis, young people in school who, by now, in the secret of their rooms, even before major exams, are more interested in what is on a screen than studying for that exam. Worry has gone through the window. There is no responsibility. Again, the father of the family who is keen on a certain amount of intake of nicotine and alcohol and doesn't really measure up the budget is not practicing healthy care and concern. A big one in our day is, in its many forms, the psychological and mental addiction of gambling. Very subtle, very sophisticated. Actually, it can even be on the stock exchange, but it's gambling nevertheless. The thrill, the adrenaline, the excitement of perhaps winning a big sum. And then, that's the only bit that matters. I'm going to win next time. And worry goes to the window. I was shown the casino at Salzburg one time. And next to Salzburg, there's a big mountain range. And on the top of one of these mountains is the casino. And the person showing me this casino from the ground said, every year there are suicides on that mountain. Worry, understood properly, is therefore true preparation for the morrow. In the here and now, avoiding that the morrow be unprepared. Wisdom and forethought, careful planning. But worry out of control is a different thing, and we see it in our time. Fixation. People who are condemning themselves to be unhappy because they have posed this condition. Unless such and such happen, or such and such does not happen, I will not be happy, or I will be unhappy. I would propose to you another model. It's actually what one indirectly cannot but learn in the contemplative life, which is also open to you if you wish it. It's that of being so much aware of the power over us and under us, and the wisdom that is over us and under us, and the love that wishes us well over us and under us, that we then become as little as we are. That humility of which the Gospel speaks. We have to be carried. And I've spoken before about the picture which my parents put on me, on my bed when I was growing up as a child. There for years, Jesu Christ a Bigal da, Jesus Christ, the Good Shepherd, carrying this little lamb close to his cheek, as it were looking into his eyes and being loved and loving. He was being carried. And messages from an image speak to a child and also to an adult. They say more than many volumes. To know that one is gazed at by the power that rules the world takes away the playing at God, which ruins our happiness. So the model I propose to you is this: the secret of receiving life and not wanting the impossible ruling over it. Because the freedom that comes from that contemplative mode of seeing the hand of God in every moment is a different mode of existence and hugely liberating. Why? Because providence is there. All shall be well, and all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well. And this was given to understand to our dear Julian, that everything, and there was no exception, he insisted, I make no exception, everything was guided by his hand, and that hand was pulling out of everything good. And this was given also as a secret, that out of all the things that come, there is an eternal vision beforehand, that everything is actually somehow for our good. Now, do you see what that means if we take in that contemplative vision? We at last find absence of false worry, absence of false illusion about control, and liberty in receiving the grace of the present moment in all its wise and unpacked riches. Just leave you with one last word. It's the whole secret of what Père de Caussade, the great Jesuit, wrote in his volume, Self-Abandonment to Divine Providence. He talks about the sacrament of the present moment. Each moment contains in itself all that is necessary for our sanctification. Receive it and don't ruin it by worrying for the one that may never be.
Worry. What is a worry? But a laboured thought, a moment doubly lost, a tragedy twice lived, a burden borne and brought to ours it did not own, a comedy viewed by eternal vision that had ways and time enough to think long upon this, and see its caused end with placid gaze, untroubled by a ripple amid bliss. O problem, grow and grow, and fill the world with none but thee alone, and have thy way tomorrow. But today this hour has hurled thy face from this my staring, for today will never be tomorrow. And thy snare, is it not this, to place each morrow there?